so I can share it.
Are we going live now? Gina, live or no? We're going live. We are Casey's first global radio station. And so it is my pleasure to present my co-host, who is like amazing.
Oh, thanks.
Miss Serenity, fresh off of performing for Black Love. Was it Love Jones, or was it what was it called?
Love Jones.
Love Jones presented by
Black
the
Summer Nights, that's what they call
okay, yes, the beautiful men of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. How was that, by the way?
Yeah, it was dope. It was dope vibe. This is the that's gonna work.
All right, well, we'll find out soon enough. So I'm glad that you were able to get out and perform. But we're not here to talk about ourselves. As you know, this is KUAW. You can always check us out on the TuneIn app. You can download that on your Google Play or on your App Store on your iPhone device. Also, you can check us out on Facebook Live. Put in the keywords KUAW. That's our call letters. And you can go ahead and look at us live in studio, visually, and hear us sonically as well. Also, you without further ado, I'd like to introduce our guest for this afternoon. He's my friend. Ladies, he's kind of cute. If you see him on,
right.
If you see him on the camera, he's kind of cute too. But
to me, one of the up and coming hip hop artists out of Kansas City.
Definitely. So let's go ahead and run the bio real quick, sir, Mister.
Give him the receipts.
Let's go ahead and give him the receipts. So, the Royal Chief is in the building. Hip hop artist from KC, 26 years old, moved to Atlanta at 20 to chase his dream. You better chase them dreams, boy. lived in Tree Sound Studios the first year and released 3 projects the last 3 years. Trial and Error in 2015 under the moniker J-Dub, Dawn in 2016, and his latest offering, which is a banger, y'all, Homecoming 2017, and moved back to KC last year. So we're going to talk about him and what he's been doing. Also, he's got a couple of things coming up that y'all really want to stay tuned for. So the Royal Chief is in the building. What's up? What's up?
Y'all?
Hey.
Happy to be here, man. I appreciate y'all.
I have my I'm a real hip hop snob, so like when it comes to local hip hop, artists, I'm always
the standards are high.
The standards have to be met. Like you gotta make sure your production's right. Can't have no Casio beats. Can't be out here. The Casio beats. You know what I'm talking about? Fruity Loops looking kind of out of pocket.
Right.
Stuff is not mixed well.
Right,
but
not mixed
well at all. And
sound like it was in somebody's
yes.
See, you can record in the closet. It can't sound like
you
exactly.
Exactly.
I've seen some studio setups where I would be like, I don't think that's gonna sound, and then you hear okay, like that Becky and that engineer and they got it.
I'm waiting for Migos to put out like Trap in the Closet. Trap in the Closet.
See what you did there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm here all week. Anyway, but I was gonna say though, I was really impressed listening to Homecoming, how it was just such a well-received top to bottom conceptual album. First of all, tell me about the concept for Homecoming and what brought you to that point. Cause I feel like it was a really personal album too. Mm-hmm. Especially one of my favorite tracks, My Brother's Keeper. The whole thing was just really well done, really well produced. So tell me about the project.
When I first started, I didn't really have a concept. I was just kind of, making music, creating songs. And halfway through it is when I decided to come back home.
Yeah.
I probably was 3 or 4 songs in. It's an EP. It's only 7 songs. I was probably 3 songs in. And that's when I decided to make the move back home.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of straight where it came from. It's like Homecoming. This is me coming back. I wanted all the music to be like that real hustler, grinding, gritty, like going for it type music. And I mean, that's what it is, top to bottom.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the songs, with the exception of a few, like are real like anthems. You know what I'm saying? Like, something real anthemic about it. Like, just like I'm like, I always hear it and I'm like thinking like, okay, like, we getting up, we going, like, okay, this is it. Like, if you want to, like, if you trying to get yours and you in the midst of like, no sleep, team, no sleep. This is it.
And that was the approach, even with a lot of people around me, you want to keep your circle and trying to elevate their lives and grow. And so really, I just wanted to make music for them, for the people around me who are trying to be better and grind, and so that's where it all came from. Where all these anthems and working hard and no sleep and all that type of stuff.
Hey, I can hear it. Like when I saw you perform at Rap Asylum a couple of months ago, I was just like, okay, first of all,
did he have the band with him that time?
No, but that's okay because, like, honestly,
I seen him at what was it, Clark's Center Drive.
Shout out to Clark Roosevelt.
Oh yeah,
that's where I saw him. And he had the live band with it when he had. I was like, yo, who is this with this band, yo? Like that was so just. Of course people do it, but I'm saying you don't see that too often.
You sure don't.
And I mean, that's
with
what
a live band behind.
Like, it's little things like that are the separation. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys can't play with a live band. You know what I'm saying? Them 808s.
Well, that's because most of their beats is not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They don't translate.
Yeah, they don't translate.
Right.
I mean, that's like a band makes it an experience. You know what I'm saying? It's not just listening to the 2-track on the speakers. Like, we got a bunch of different elements in here. So
absolutely, it allows you to take the music other places.
For sure.
It's like, so it gives you a little bit more freedom and wiggle room. Like, okay, I want to try this. And it's like, it creates a whole new experience for the listener and obviously for the artist performing it. But your stage presence is on point. Like, honestly, there are so many artists, even artists that are like major right now, that have a real terrible time connecting with their audience.
Right.
And like, you give energy. So it's like, that's all right. So I have to ask you, so when you went down to Atlanta, what was it that you learned? Like, so as far as like what helped you grow as an artist?
I think the biggest thing I learned is that you can't do this stuff alone. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like,
that's true.
Big
I learned
facts.
that these guys, it's not just one guy in the room just doing everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's teams of people.
I was say LeBron.
yeah, it's not no LeBron. Listen,
on.
none of your favorite artists is
LeBron.
LeBron. It's Golden State out here. It's a team. You got specialists around you who are all here to do things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh my gosh, so yeah.
Like that's what people got to understand. You're not doing this alone. You need a producer. You need an engineer. You need a person doing your media and marketing and just all them. Like, you can have these ideas, but not most people can't execute every single idea by themselves.
How hard was it for you to find that team though? I mean, because a lot of people, say they down for you until like it gets real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like,
I mean, I still don't, have it all fully put together, but I mean, it's part of it is, when you have some talent, not to like toot my own horn, but
no, flex. This is the time to flex, boy.
Right,
You better,
interview.
This is your interview. You better
give
me a flex.
Rock with you. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
If you give people a quality product, that is what gets people's attention. And like, maybe let me, feed into this a little bit more, see what this is about. And so, that's kind of what I did. I just kept putting out quality content. You know what I'm saying? I take pride in, the art form and people are receptive to that. So
did anybody mentor you?
Well,
yeah, it was like, was there anybody that you particularly like, especially being in a different city, moving to a place like Atlanta from KC, like learning the scene, learning the community, like getting, cutting your teeth, making.
And I'll chime in with you.
Oh Lord!
Didn't I take a reckless?
Networking was a big thing I learned there too. You got it. Networking beats talent any day. And it almost sucks to say that, but that's real. Like, it's if you don't know how to talk to people and get yourself in rooms and places you wouldn't normally be, I don't care how good you can rap or do anything.
That's
kind of like what politicking, as they say.
Yeah, politicking.
You gotta
do that.
elbows.
And a lot of people don't want to do that. But when I was down there, I met an artist by the name of Saha the Prince.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I got real cool with him, and he was kind of like a mentor for me.
That's what's up. That's what's up. For those who do not know what Saha the Prince is, man, go and check him out on YouTube. Some of them ciphers are ridiculous.
Very ridiculous.
Like, you'll hear his name. If you haven't heard it yet, you'll hear it.
If you're
Trust
really
me.
into some rap stuff.
Bars.
You know who that is.
Straight up bars.
Sure.
I was gonna say though, as far as like, so when you came back home, you're in the middle of this project.
Right.
What exactly? I wanted to ask you about this because this, like, My Brother's Keeper. Did that come before, or did that come after you came home?
That was before.
Really?
We did that before I came back. Yeah.
Right. Because can we? Because like I want to talk a little bit about this track because I feel like it's probably the track on the album that I feel like is probably the most confessional.
Yeah.
So like, talk about that a little bit.
But yeah, I mean, the song is basically it's called My Brother's Keepers. 2 verses. One of them is about one of my best friends.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy named AJ. He was like my little brother. And he unfortunately was gunned down. I think it's been a year now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fortunately, he was gunned down, and so the first verse is about him, and kind of just my thoughts and where I was after going to his funeral and seeing him like that, and we kind of feel the remorse for things that maybe I could have done to help the situation or kept it from happening. And then the second verse is about my older brother, who passed in 2012, and that was also as not just my brother but my best friend, and it's the same thing, just kind of where I was and things, he kind of taught me in life. So, yeah, I mean, that's...
The reason why I brought it up is because I think that now we've kind of gotten to a point in hip hop, and I'm almost tempted to not even call it hip hop, but I'm gonna call it hip hop, fine. Right. Where I mean, there's a lack of, well, we can talk about the lack of lyricism all day long, but I feel like there's sometimes like a lack of honesty. I think like when we think about Jay-Z's 444 and how confessional that was, and it's like the bringing humanity into hip hop. Like, look, I'm going through stuff too. Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I felt like that was a really honest track. So do you think it's an anomaly now, or do you kind of like, as far as like being more confessional in hip hop with your lyrics?
I don't think it's an anomaly. I think it's we're just in this generation of oversaturation. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much stuff everywhere, and a lot of guys imitating other guys, and a lot of guys aren't doing it for the art form.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it used to be so hard to make it back in the day that you had to be serious about it to get on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You couldn't just record at your house or
get on SoundCloud.
You just have a computer at your home, a studio at your house. Like, it's too much. So you have to really be dedicated to this. And the guys who were dedicated really put the time and the work to make themselves, top tier guys.
Exactly.
And nowadays, you got guys who just started rapping yesterday who just happened to upload a song and it blew up and took off. And it's like, I mean, they haven't put any time in on their craft or any work.
Yeah. Do you believe like when you talk about like record labels, I think like Top Dog Entertainment, for those who don't know, Kendrick, SZA, Schoolboy Q, boy,
J-Rock,
which
J-Rock.
Can't wait to hear this album.
Just drop some fire.
So, but they really work on artist development. Like they really allow the artists, like, okay, figure out who you are before we put anything out.
I mean, and
that's what's up.
Like, people lack patience nowadays.
Yeah.
If you're on TD, you gotta have patience because, like you said, they're gonna develop you. And I mean, that's what labels used to do. Like, they don't develop artists now. Now your artist development is whatever following you already got before we signed you.
Yeah, but my question is like, do you think? I mean, because I was having this conversation earlier about like, record labels really not percentage of what you made, but I also feel like there's a lack of polish because people out here just not going on SoundCloud, throwing anything up in the air and hoping it stick, and then it's like, well, throw it in the air. That's real. Throw it in the air, and then it's like, and then it's like, oh, that was cool, do it again, but they don't know how to do it again. They don't have it was an accident. Right.
It wasn't crap. Like I said, they don't they're not good at their craft. They haven't put any time in, so they can't reciprocate that. They
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's that thing when they say when you hit like quick, you usually come down quick too.
Yeah. I mean, if you blow up like that, nobody's actually a fan of you. They're a fan of the song.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know you. You don't have a fan base. It's just like once that song gets old to us,
we move to the next one.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That stuff comes and goes. So, like, you see those guys who just jump to superstardom real fast and they burn out quick. Mm-hmm. They don't have a fan base.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, we gonna continue on.
I want to read. We have like a lot of interaction.
Speaking of fan base,
on the Facebook page. Camille Irving. She says, "Hey friends."
Hi,
Camille. Then Jeremy is it Juan?
Jan.
I'm sorry.
Jay Jan in the building.
He's saying that's my brother.
Exactly.
He also later says you ain't lying about some of your comments. And he says, "Brother's Keeper is that's one of his records."
Mm-hmm. We know.
Dreamville Up is next. Is that your Dreamville? Is that your next project that you have something up, or does he have a project coming out? Okay.
Oh Lord. We're gonna talk about that later in person.
You have Marquand. Oh,
that's the homie.
Yeah, he says my big bro, and he's talking about the song "My Brother's Keeper" as well. And then somebody said, "Don't talk about the Cavaliers or LeBron."
Don't talk about the Cavs.
Curtis, Mark.
Look,
Carmichael said that.
Look, all I'm gonna say is this: the opinions shared by Serenity are those of hers and hers alone.
When he made the mention about you can't do it by yourself.
I'm just let's just not talk about the past. Like, we moving forward. We're not going to talk about this. Okay. And with that being said, Dub Nation. Right. Anywho, we're gonna go ahead and take a real quick break, but we're gonna come back again with the Royal Chief. Again, it is Roux on the Radio on KUAW 98.5 FM, and of course, we're gonna listen to a little bit of what the man of the hour has presented to us. So for those who do not know, you about to find out. So what we about to listen to, Serenity?
My Brother's Keeper.
Let's go. Let's go. The track. Right. We'll come back after that. And we are back on Roux on the Radio. It is.
We live.
We are live in studio, known as the classroom. The KC's Global Community Radio Station on 98.5. We are back again with the Royal Chief in the building. You just heard my brother's keeper off of his latest offering called Homecoming. Check that out. Where can they get that, sir?
It is available everywhere: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal.
Yes. Give that man your money. It'll be used properly. Get him some streams, but make sure you stream it, but buy it. You know, artists don't like working for free. That, exactly.
Right. You can go to the website, theroyalchief.com, and get you a physical copy if you
want. Yeah. Got the copy right here. I'm going to get it signed later. You don't know that. But anyway, so we were just talking off air about the fact that you just shot a video for another track on this album called No Days Off. So talk about the actual idea for the video and how that all went down.
Well, basically the song is obviously called No Days Off. So the approach with the video was basically to like have a party going on, and I'm working while this whole party is going on around me. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's turning up, drinking, playing video games, all kind of stuff. You know, I'm in here writing on these bars. You know what I'm saying? Like No Days Off.
So who directed the video?
It's a dude named Roux Raval.
Okay.
It's a guy I met through Facebook. So I met him through Facebook. I was asking for beats, and he actually dropped his beat link into my comments. And so, you know what I'm saying, I hit him up, we got to talking or whatever, and he told me he also shot videos. So he sent me some of his videos, and I was just like, yo, this is...
See, kids, networking works. Right. Sometimes sliding in the DMs, and sometimes posting on stuff, you just like, you might get yourself a video. You might get yourself something out here that's going to be popping. Might. But anyway, I was going to say, though, like, where was it shot?
We shot it at the crib.
No. Home base. It's fine. We don't have to tell. We don't have to air nobody out.
No. And then we shot some of it down in the box.
All right, that's what's up. I was supposed to be in this video. I'm gonna air myself out. I was supposed to be in the video.
Didn't want to pull
up. That is.
Refused to pull up.
That is not what happened.
See, what had happened was.
See, okay, I'm trying to take the high road here and air myself out, and then you add an extra narrative that didn't actually happen. Okay, fam, this is what happened.
All right,
see what happened was I stayed out late. And like I woke up and I was not feeling all that good. You can put two and two together. What happened the night before?
Okay, all right.
And literally, I was like, okay, I can't do this. I'm really I'm over. Okay. And so I was like, look, man, can't do it. I was like, but I got you on the next one.
No days off, Angela.
I got you on the next one. It's fine. But
no days off,
oh, okay. You know what? We friends, so I'm gonna let this go. I'm gonna let him get these rounds off. It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna have to see you later, so it's fine.
You just got
see me now.
You gotta be there. See what I'm saying, bro? It's that easy.
Anyway, moving right on. Anyway, I was gonna say though, you also have some other things coming up as well.
For sure.
Yeah. So let's talk about these live performances we got going on.
Hey, we live. We at the Riot Room on July 21st.
Okay. What day is that? It's a Sunday.
Sunday.
Okay.
It's Saturday.
Oh, let's check it out. Hold on. Let's go ahead and pull up the good eye calendar real quick. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's all good. It's fine. It's like, it's all live. It's all good.
It's Saturday. I think it's July 21st.
It's like July 21st. Let's go ahead and look on her. Yeah, it is a Saturday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
July 21st. We live at the Riot Room. We on the patio. We on the outside.
Okay. So all right.
You know pull up. Come vibe with us.
Is there a cover?
Yeah, I think it's like $5-10.
Okay, so y'all save your coins.
Save your bread.
You know, don't be out here.
You know what I'm saying? Come live, come rock out with us, get you some drinks. We're gonna turn up.
Is there any else besides you? Is it gonna be a lineup?
I don't know who's all on there yet.
Really? Okay, so the lineup is to be announced.
To be announced.
All right.
And then I'm opening for Black Milk on the 24th.
How did that happen? That's a move. That's kind of like that's a move. Like how did that happen?
Networking, man. My man Glenn Robinson, man, he's a promoter in the city. Dope dude, real good dude. But he put me on. He hit me up, and you know he's saw some of my work before, and, you know what I'm saying, was rocking with me and threw me the lob.
All right. Now, are you going to be doing any traveling outside of KC promoting your work, or like, are you kind of just staying?
You were trying to get on some show.
On the A, we didn't get it down in the A.
Yeah.
You know I'm saying, it happens though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a womp. I was kind of mad about that.
I mean, we're supposed to. We're trying to get on at A3C. That's the hip hop festival they do down there in October.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we didn't get it, but
yeah, it was voter. It was supposed to be.
It
was voter based. So like,
we
couldn't get people to like do the simple thing like clicking on stuff and going through. I had problems. I still hit my man's up.
I voted.
The user interface was trash.
Like, I voted. I think once or twice, but I know that was one of those things you had to vote every single day.
Yeah. I mean, I struggled, but like the first time I went there, I was just like, bro, did I vote? Am I on?
Right. I hit you up. I was like, I don't know if I voted or not.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people just kind of didn't, couldn't quite figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, but as far as like in the future, are you planning on kind of like traveling and hitting up different places?
Definitely. I mean, that's always the plan.
Okay.
To space it out. But I just wanted to start at home. I feel like if you don't have your city, you can't have anybody else.
Very true. Very true. So
that was also one of the biggest things in Atlanta. Like everybody down there supports each other. You know what I'm saying? That's why Atlanta cracks like it does.
Segue. Glad you brought it up.
I was about to say,
do you feel like without you can answer this however you feel. Politically or not, I'm not going to judge you.
I hate to cut you off, but our Facebook comment, Camille Irving said she voted for you every day.
Camille, the real one. She's real. Okay. And Camille don't even live here, yo. Like, I'm not gonna air her out completely, but like, we got people all over the country supporting you out here, holding the team down. Exactly. But so you talked about, and you kind of tiptoed into this about like the KC hip hop community. Do you think that we are getting better at supporting, or do you still think it is kind of a low key issue that still needs to be addressed?
I think it still needs to be addressed. It's like it's there. People are starting to kind of try to figure it out or try to do something. I think there's a lot more work to do in general. You know what I mean? I think a lot of guys. People got to get out of thinking of just themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to support other people. Even just the artists you like in the city. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's cool to check out some other people. Like, if you don't rock it with it, you don't. But the guys that you rock with, you know what I'm saying? Support them. Like, there's some guys out there I rock with. Rep Jones. You know what I'm saying? Hugo Strange. Dope artists in the city. You know, it's like pull up at the shows or. Creating music or how to make music, like how to network and talk and just form your own things. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of guys just don't have any direction. Yeah,
I will say that, and you can speak from the artist perspective. I can speak from the perspective of someone who likes to support hip hop and really is a big hip hop fan. I will say that for local artists, it is really, really important that when you get ready to get on stage, that you are ready for the stage. It's really hard to get people to support you when your product and what you're doing is not really all that polished. Like, you might want to get in the lab a little bit more. And people
gotta be honest when they be reviewing stuff.
Yeah, like don't
you ask me to listen to your song, I'm gonna give you an honest review.
Right? Don't gas somebody because like you're hurting them. You're not helping them.
You're not helping. Like,
I think there's too many people that have the yes people around, and they don't have enough people that be like, okay, cool. Look, you need to, or you might wanna.
Well, we can even speak as poets. Like, it's really difficult to give proper critique because people's feelings get hurt, and it's just like. You got to take your feelings out of it.
It's kind of one of those things like, did the person ask you for the critique, or are you just giving it just to be, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, generally speaking, like, I'll tell you like this, like, if I hear somebody that I'm like, they got something there, but, maybe give them a little bit of feedback. Like, I'm not trying to like just destroy you, but even the little bit of feedback is like, who do you think you are? Da, da, da. I'm like, well, since you asked.
Right. And you want to
it's like, because my thing is this, if everybody is 100 with each other, then it makes the whole community get better.
For sure.
So it's just like you gotta be able to like put your feelings aside and understand like this is about the work. Yeah. It's not about you personally. Nobody's out here trying to like attack you. It's just like, look, we just trying to make sure that you get up there like and be ready.
Yeah.
And I mean, people have to remove, like, I think people put money as the forefront, and it can't be that.
No.
You know, when we doing these things, a lot of like promoters and artists and stuff is just about the bread, and it's like, no, bro, you need to like if I'm rocking with a promoter, I want him to genuinely be a fan of what I'm doing.
Exactly.
He's gonna want to invest in it. You know what I'm saying? And then he's gonna want to give it a platform. You know, he want to use his platform to put me on it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it can't just be a bread thing. It's got to be like I genuinely like this guy's art or his music or his poetry, whatever the case may be. Like it's like check it out, see if you really like it. If you really like it, move forward from there. Like don't just kind of whatever. Like I heard about it or you know what I'm saying. Just throw anybody on your shows or anything like.
Yeah.
Put some time into what you're doing, man.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's probably the one thing that's holding a lot of the community back artistry wise is that one, people are out here trying to get a quick check. And then two, it's like, again, people need to take time and figure out who they are as artists. And it's like, you got to understand you're going to fall on your face a few times. And it's like, you can't give up on that, but you also got to be able to take these like, look, I'm telling you, hey, bro, I'm pulling out your coattails. Like, hey, this ain't hot right now, but just keep working. Keep working.
It takes time.
It takes major time. I mean, and you can't really compare yourself. Like some folks are just gifted like that. Like they just, real. And you can't compare yourself to other people. Like, because some folks, I'm like, look, it took them a while. Like you was kind of trash, but like 5 years later, like you good.
Whole stuff it's like
I mean, and that's growth as well to go back and listen to your own stuff and be like, oh, this was not that good. I know I got some stuff and I'm like, what was
I look back at some of them old poems like
some of those old poems like this is, and I'm like to the point where I'm like I don't even want to read this now.
Right, it's like we're gonna put this in the vault. No one ever sees it. Exactly. So I was actually gonna bring this up because another thing that the Royal Chief was part of. He's part of some hip hop culture that really shook Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So for those who do not know, Carrington Harrison of 610 Sports Radio, the man C. Dot put together and curated the Kanye West March Madness bracket. This man to my left was part of that process. And I'm telling you, it like when it went viral, like that was amazing. It went.
Yeah, I remember seeing that on Twitter.
When I saw it on Complex,
it was a few.
When I saw it on Everyday Struggle, I was like, okay.
Yeah, it was a few of us involved. It was me. Obviously, C. Dot. He kind of had the initial thought. Jasmine Franks. She runs Just Jump Media. She did the whole bracket itself.
Yes.
The whole, she created everything and all the regions. And,
it made it look real slick and real right.
Super quality. My boy G Watts was in there. Local rapper in the city.
Yeah, I know.
Jeremy.
Jayon.
Jeremy's up. He's.
You know what I'm saying?
But y'all was a part of some history. Yeah. So I was like, when y'all were in that room though. I have my problems. Who didn't fight for late? Like who didn't fight for late?
It was we fought for late. There was some. Listen,
there was not a fight for late.
Songs, no, because like Drunk and Hot Girls was on there, and when I tell you I was in there I was in the trenches battling to get that song off the list for something like there was just. I felt late.
Yeah, I was just like, shout out to my homegirl Kyle. She was also involved in that as well. Kyle, shout out to you also being there because I know she personally was like, I'm fighting for late because we both love that song to death.
It was a few of us in there fighting.
But with that being said, if you knowing what we know now, can you imagine we went from this March Madness bracket celebrating Kanye? Yeah.
I mean, we went to the extreme.
Now we had this. We're at this point now where like
people's like they're not even listening to his new project.
Like, have you?
They refuse.
Do you think it's possible to separate the man or the artist from their actual like they could be completely just absolutely trash human beings or like just say some really outlandish stuff.
Yeah. But
their catalog, what they do is so amazing. Can you separate that?
Well, people gotta understand. I hear a lot of people saying that. Oh, I separate the man from the music, but you gotta understand when you're an artist like that who puts so much of yourself into your music and your thoughts and actions have built, up your music itself. Like you're going against everything you told us you were. That's
exactly.
Your whole catalog is built with this stance and this mind frame that you had, and now you're going totally against that. And it's like, I can't separate you from the music because it's that's you.
We talked about this. Me and friends talked about this. Like, you know what? There's the teddy bear mascot like era of Kanye, and then there's a lot of demarcations with 808s and Heart. Myself, but I was actually in college when it happened, and so like for me, it's really difficult to separate the two.
I guess you could say I'm more of the fan of the latter, except for the Yeezus one. I didn't.
No one.
I wasn't rocking with that one. Like, nah, bro.
You can you are allowed your opinion. I have mine.
I like the other. As well, but I really liked Heartbreaking 808. I really liked Dark Twisted Fantasy. I like, and even the latest one he had, I really liked, and you could tell it's more like that vulnerable side of him. So
I liked 808s.
Yeah, I like 808 too.
I think 808s,
and that was around the time I think he broke up with his ex-fiance. Yeah. I don't think his mother was. No, she was still living, I think, when that was out.
No, I think Dr. West had already passed at that point.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that he had that. You could tell, like, when he's going through a lot of personal things, his sound just kind of makes a difference.
Yeah, it went way left.
It goes left. But I like it. I don't know.
No, I think 808s has a lot of influence over music today.
Yes, and that's why I hold him personally responsible for Drake. Yeah. Anyway, I hold him personally responsible for why Drake was able to 808s exist and therefore Marvin's Room exists. I kind of mad at him for that. Yeah, mad at him for that.
I guess you could say, he opened the segue to the emotional rapper.
The rapper singing.
Emotional rapping, singing.
To be honest, you know who really deserves credit for this? Andre 3000. Really Andre 3000 really should get the credit for this rapper singing.
Defend your argument.
He wasn't like
no, he wasn't. No, but the rapper singing was 3K was the first.
But
one,
really
not
like Drake is like rapper singing, whining, crying, almost R&B sounding. That's different.
Love Below is responsible for 808s. 808s is responsible for everything after that. Love Below is where that 808s comes from, dog.
Oh. My 3 Stack stand will not allow me to go there with you. I'm a stand and I will not allow this.
That's where it comes from.
Well, I can't allow this.
Now I'm thinking about the project.
Love Below is amazing.
It was amazing, but it was like one of those first hip hop albums. I remember I listened to it. I was just like, whoa, this is not. This is almost like an R&B.
I know. Arthur Fist. Okay, so the question is,
I see where you're going. I see where you're going with that.
Have you canceled Kanye?
Me?
Yes.
You know what? I listen to the music, but I listen to it just to like on some idea or the creativity or see the direction and stuff like that. It's like I don't really care. Like as far as like his thoughts and whatnot, or I'm not like standing for him or nothing, but it's just like he's tripping, he's out of touch. We've known that for a while.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He gonna do what he do, and that's cool. I'm gonna just at the end of the day, I look at it like make the music that you want to hear. So I'm gonna just the stuff that he ain't making, I'll make it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I hate to
so what we gonna do
on the Facebook feed, Precious Leah says 3 Stacks is God. She's saying
don't say she stands and I stand. I'm with you.
No, just and then Jasmine says something about My Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye. I guess that's one of her faves.
That's definitely for sure.
that is perfectly fine. We're not gonna talk about Ye anymore. We're gonna keep it Ye free for a minute.
Jeremy also said he fought for the song Late as well.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I was in the trenches.
Okay, so I need to talk to somebody else about this late admission. I'm really mad about. But anyway, but we gonna go ahead and go to a commercial break, and we gonna go ahead and listen to some more from Homecoming.
See Me Now.
See Me Now.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
And see me later after this break. We're back. So and we are back for the last segment of Roux on the Radio. Again, it's 98.5 KUAW. We back. Casey's Global Community Radio Station. Again, I'm here with the Royal Chief and my co-host Serenity. For this last little bit of segment, I'm gonna bless y'all real quick with some rapid fire questions for the Royal Chief. Rapid fire questions. Well, he does not know what I'm getting ready to ask him because I don't want him to think about it.
I'm ready. I think. I hope.
Top 3 MCs
Of all time?
all time.
Tupac, Jay-Z, Rocket.
Favorite producer?
Favorite, Dr. Dre.
Okay. And lastly, top 3 albums.
Of all time? Jesus Christ.
And it doesn't. This from the gut off the top.
Off the top.
Yeah, don't think about it.
Okay.
Quick facts.
College Dropout.
Yeah.
Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Me Against the World.
All right. Those are very. I think I can co-sign those. There's no judgments over here. Rakim, yes. Right. Yes. People don't understand. Like, okay.
Right. That's why I was like, he said when he said Reasonable Doubt in there too. I was like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Look up Rakim, kids. Your favorite rapper probably learned from somebody that probably learned from Rakim.
He probably
exactly.
He's probably your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
These are just facts. But anyway, speaking of rapping. All right, so before we get off into this, because I can't let them leave without spitting a little something for the people. Tell these people where they can find you once again.
Okay, all my social media is at The Royalty Chief, TheRoyalChief, The Royal Chief. All my music is on my website, TheRoyalChief.com. It's available on Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, Tidal. All streaming services. We got merchandise on the website, hats, shirts, CDs, whatever you need.
He got you all laced up. You can get Homecoming. You can get your hat, get your shirt.
If you cop a shirt or hat or anything, you get the CD for free. So
free 99, y'all. Free 99. And again, you can catch your boy. Again, he has a show at the Riot Room on the patio.
Room on the patio, July 21st, and then I'm back there with Black Milk on the 24th. We dropping a video tomorrow for No Days Off.
Yep.
You can watch all of my other videos on my YouTube right now.
This boy knows how to promote himself. Right. That's what I'm talking about.
What I was saying.
So,
I'm trying to get better.
But let's go ahead and get into these bars, though. I sound like Ebro, but we're gonna get into these bars. All right, so we're gonna close it out. Again, before I let him rap, you can always catch me on social media as well at Ms. MZ_Angela ANGELA_Roux ROUX. Find me on Instagram, find me on Snapchat. Not really a Twitter person because I talk a lot. And also you can catch me on my artist page, Miss Angela Roux on Facebook. Serenity, where they can catch you?
Serenity Speaks. That's Serenity SERENITY 2 underscores in the word speak. I'm on IG.
All right, and you can also catch the information on Pros and Verbs. We'll be having it up on the page.
Yeah,
well,
we
Chief,
Instagram. But all
right, so Royal Chief, take us out. Catch y'all next month.
Yo, listen, I'm up top of my city. See him trying to up in me. Got the pot sitting pretty team dividing it with me. Your shots don't offend me. My bars are like shots from a city with infrared added on. Got you ghosting like Drizzy. You boys are dead beats. You boys are dead meat. Word around the office, I excel. Check your spreadsheets. Don't spare sheets whenever I spread cheeks. That derriere like pear, run through it like spare sneaks. I'm running marathons. Give a damn what you on. I just relay the message. I don't pass the baton. Triple double on times like triple doubles from Bron. Them bars go overhead. Now let me carry on. I roll these Dutches and blow them like Trump is reminiscing on the days that I used to ride in the Cutlass on the youngsters back when I had all of the homies and bunches. Difference was it took me way too long to figure out who was the snakes amongst us. It went south. I had to make adjustments. Can't give direction to people who lack a moral compass. I struggle with rappers, man. They lacking substance. Suffer depression. Little trash can featuring little dumpster juice. Ask your bishop, I'm the truth. Still the rap game whenever I get the cue. It's a love or hate thing. Word to Radio Raheem. I got a ring on the game. Like a noose, I can't let it loose.
Yeah, one time for the culture. Again, the Royal Chief, thank you for coming through as always, fam. You are always welcome to come back.
Appreciate it. I love
of course.
Thank you for having me on.
Of course. And who's up next? But our girl, our friend, Miss Sherry Purpose Hall's up next. It is the second half of the Black Girl Magic Power Block this Saturday. She's coming through with Gospel of Poets. Check for that at the top of the hour. Again, check for us next month, every third Saturday at high noon in the middle of the map, flyest area of the flower of the country. You know how we do. So again, thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us on Facebook and YouTube Live. Catch y'all next time. nice juice reference. It's a little dumpster. I was like,
I'm trying to tell you.
I was like, give me the.
I'm just gonna put